In this second video, we are going to create a new model with a variant set that will let you pick an animation type for a character. So let's create a Walter stage again, and so it's the same steps for you create a prim, and let's call it Mary, and I will add a variant on Mary. So for information, you can also directly add a reference if you want, if you don't choose variant. So let's I'm going to show you that quickly. Let's take the walk animation. Okay, so you can see it's appearing. This asset was made with the vertical axis as Z, so the camera here is not set up to display it correctly. We'll see later how to fix that. So yeah, it was to create a reference. Now we are going to clear the prim and restart from scratch, because we want to do a variant of Mary. So Mary, and create the first variant. So it will be variant set animations, variant name walk, and you pick the reference to the walk. Okay, so we've got our character. If I hit play, there's nothing because it's starting at 100. So let's change the timeline to, I think it's 100, 101 to 200. Okay. Yes. So now we are fine. We need to tweak the asset because the orientation is wrong. So on the top of the asset, on its roots, you can just expose the transform to be able to control it from within Maya with a locator. If you look in the outliner, it will create a Walter locator that is connected to the stage, and you can feed the prim in the stage with the transform from this node. You can even animate. So let's move it. Let's reset everything and rotation like that. So now it's fine. Now it's fine. So we can hit play, it works. Finally, if you don't want to see the bones, because here we can see that you can go in the Walter outliner. So there's two ways to do it. You can select the Walter shape to have access to the UI and just ask which purpose you want to see in the viewport. So right now by default we are always displaying proxy and guide, so you just turn off guide and you got it like that. The other way would be you can also open the tree below Mary, and for the skeleton, I don't know where it is, maybe rig? Yeah, rig. You can of course set it hidden, but in this case we don't need, because it's a purpose, but there's already a purpose on those prims. Okay, so now we've got the first variant with setup. For information, once the transforms from Maya are set on the prim in the stage, you can delete them if you want. So let's delete the locator. For example, if there's no animation, no keyframe, you can just delete. It's fine. If you need later to move it again, you can just recreate it. If you print the session layer, we can see that we just created one variant, and with some transformation on the root. Okay, so let's create a new variant. It will be called idle. Add reference, and it will be keep alive. Okay. So now we've got this variant. If you select it, you can select each component of the model. So here you can see, by the way, this menu lets you filter in the Walter outliner which kind of object you want to see. So if you select subcomponent, and let's select the head, it will expand everything until the head. But at a shot level, when you want to instantiate a lot of models, you don't need to pollute the Walter outliner with sub-hierarchy, so you can just switch to component view and in this case you can just see each component of the asset actually. So actually Marie here, this asset from that was downloaded from the Pixar website, is a component, is an assembly, sorry, because the icon is different in Walter, and it's an assembly made of various components. So this is useful because when you select object here, we are in component mode, and if you switch to assembly, you can select the whole character. So if you want to interactively place your character in the scene, or your asset in the scene, you can just click here. It's the left prim transform. When you enable that, as soon as you click, it will create a Walter locator for you. So then you can move stuff. So let's say I can move it here. But actually I don't want, so I'm going to reset. Okay. So now that the asset is ready, we just need to save it. So save session layer, and I will call it Marie version 1. I think I already saved it below models, Marie, yeah, Marie anim, for example, or Marie version 1. It's not really an animation, it's a model with some variant set inside. Marie 1. That's pretty much it for the model preparation. Next we will see how to set up a sequence using Walter.